Enemy soldier incoming. Check your gear and weapons. We'll be deploying in order. Stations, this is Shadow 01. Deployment to the warzone has been authorized. Enemies are dropping into the area. Watch the skies. Resurgence. Stay alive. Mark the drop point with the squad and hit the field. Setting rally point. Enemies dropping into the...
You're not paying it off, and you're putting it on a credit card.
Even paying 50% interest on. If they work an extra hour at their job.
I agree, but I think you would also probably agree with the sentiment that it's not necessarily about the $9.99 and 50% of that, but it's the string of actions that follow.
Oh, totally.
That's
Absolutely.
the whole mentality
100%.
of the $9.99. Oh, it's not a big deal. Oh, the $3 Starbucks is not a big deal. Oh, this isn't a big deal. But it adds up.
And that's why I push back on
And
that.
that's why I find it really interesting that you rarely ever see people struggling that are the type to skip out on those small little purchases.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
No, we don't get those people. Because we only have people out that are struggling, and we never have the people who are trying to be frugal on small purchases.
What have you noticed about human nature? Not only auditing the finances of hundreds of people, but also just talking to 500 people that open up to you.
Yeah, definitely some sense of entitlement. And I hate saying that word because a lot of it gets politically charged. You know, when you hear the word entitlement, in our culture, it's, you know, politically charged. But a lot of people think that they had a hard day at work, they're entitled to pick up the meal. And sure, they can do it. And what I always try to tell people when they're not willing to change on the show, I'm just like, okay, go do it. I don't care. Go do it. But I'm having the conversation of, oh, here's what you should do to actually get your finances in order. But a lot of people, they had a tired day at work. Oh, you know, maybe make it even more complicated with a little extra school, make it even more complicated by having some kids. And it says they deserve the sweet treat, all that stuff. And I want them to get the sweet treat. I want them to spend 30% of their money on their sweet treat once they're out of debt and have a fully funded emergency fund. But I picked up on a lot of that entitlement, thinking that it's more of a deserve than a, let's just put in a little bit of sacrifice, and then let's get all the sweet treats you want. So lots of...
Where does that come from?
Total guess.
Yeah.
But just based on how I grew up and based on the culture and probably the consumerism culture, you know, our median household income in the United States is, or our GDP per capita is double in the United Kingdom. So it's like we have that extra money more typically than those other countries that just go blow it on things. We see the commercials, we got everything. It's in our culture. Yeah, you get the McDonald's because you want the ice cream, you know? You get it. It's a nice day out. It's just the extra little things. Should have that yearly trip somewhere.
But you know what? Here's the thing. If there's one thing I can't stand, it's wasting money. And we've all done it. Signed up for subscriptions or things we don't need, we forget about it, and then all of a sudden, it starts charging you every single month, and you're just wasting it without even realizing it. That is when I started using our sponsor, Rocket Money. They allow me to see all my subscriptions in one place, cancel the ones I don't want to use anymore, and keep a lot more money back in my pocket at the end of every month.
For those that don't know, Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted debt quickly. Saved over 500 subscriptions to /. Try it out. So I was watching a ton. I feel really bad saying this. I genuinely do, but it's just my honest thoughts. So obviously, you know, when we have a guest on the show, we research them a lot. So I was watching a ton of your videos. I'd seen a lot in the past, but I'm just like, I would say re-watching a lot of stuff. And I noticed I kept getting very, honestly, kind of upset. Like a little bit angry because a lot of the guests, like, I would not. It would be rare for me to feel sympathy for them, and I know this sounds awful to say because these are people in bad situations. They're struggling financially. They're not coming from a good spot. But it seems like similar to what you said. It's like, oh, because this, oh, because this, because this, because this, and I'm thinking like, is there no sense of personal responsibility?
How far did you make it in the episodes? I'm curious.
I mean, your episodes are long now, like an hour and a half. So I probably watched 6 episodes all the way through.
All the way through. Did you see towards the end, though? I feel like this doesn't happen for all of them, but a lot of them that I see these days, they really start with that. Because, again, they've never been pushed back on. Also, they've never been on camera. They're literally random people. You know, they're in the audience.
I do notice a small resolve at the end after being berated, you know, for like an hour on their finances.
Well, it's because, again, they've never had it. They also just... We do story times and stuff, and you know, to get more context on their life. But once you start getting halfway through the document pile, it really starts to set on them how bad it is, worse than they thought it was. And you can see it after the show, and then we film the post show, and that's an extra 20 minutes, and you can just see they're just like, oh, I can't believe how bad that was. I had no idea.
So, would you find yourself being sympathetic towards the guests that you have sometimes on your show, or what's the general? How do you feel about it?
Yeah, well, definitely more sympathy towards the uncontrollables that we talked about earlier.
The uncontrollables, absolutely.
Lots of definitely sympathy towards them, and then you know, usually we give them an extra helping hand. But sympathy of I can't get Chick-fil-A after work. A little less. Usually, when people have kids and they have to cut back on you know, special things for the kids, just temporarily, that's definitely where I feel, you know, more of a heart on that. When it's just a single person just trying to really grind it out for like a year, that's hard for me. Actually, I have less sympathy when we get to the end, we make a budget, and they have thousands left over. I'm like, this is just there's no reason to be in this kind of debt. You could literally fix this in a few months. And we recorded 4 of those in a row a few weeks ago, and I was just like, I had no sympathy at the end. It's like, dude, just fucking do this. This is the dumbest thing in the world that you're not doing.
How long does it take to break through to people, and what do you have to do to get to that point?
I start to see it in about 45 minutes into the episode.
Anything you're doing in particular, or just like you gotta like keep like chipping away, and then 5 minutes and they break down?
Well, that seems to be the philosophy. You find the things to relate to them. I learn more things about their family, more things about their personal life, and you can start relating things to it and the consequences of their actions and who they might be affecting. If I learn they have a kid, you know, I demonstrate that their kid's going to feel morally obligated to take care of them at some point if they don't actually get their shit together now, because I don't think any of us would let our parents literally become homeless, you know, if they don't have retirement. But we didn't choose to come to the world either, so it's like, why put that on your kids? So I find something to relate it to, and then chipping away, and usually about 45 minutes in, we're most of the way through the documents, and that's where the numbers really start to stack. So I think it's just all that becomes a little overwhelming, hopefully, and you start to see some emotion, and they even get quieter in that moment usually, and that's when they start to be more receptive to things.
So what are the items that are keeping people poor the most that you notice?
Definitely car loans, big car loans on the show. Some of our biggest moments are big trucks, big American manly trucks. Or someone, they have their Ford F-150. Yeah. At a 7-year, 8-year loan, 25%, so that they can pick up groceries twice a week.
I saw a video, and this is real. This guy got a Lamborghini Gallardo, and he went through his expenses on here's how much it costs to buy a Lamborghini Gallardo. Great car, by the way. Fantastic for resale value. I believe he put almost no money down, but he got a 140-month car loan on this.
12 years?
It's about 12 years. And I was thinking, the average auto loan rate for a used car, it's that old, because these cars were built from 2004 to I think it was 2012, something like that, give or take. But for used cars over 4 years old, the interest rates have to be minimum 7%, at the lowest. And I was doing some backwards calculations to figure out how much he's paying in interest over this 12 years. It makes no sense. But
I want to get that guy on the show.
But he has the car. The thing is, he seemed like a really bright, smart guy.
Okay.
That was the one thing that
maybe he got a super good rate somehow, though.
There's no way you're getting a
not that I would
better than
support
6% on a 12-month. It's impossible.
Yeah, it's crazy. Should get him on.
That would be. I always wondered, it would be kind of cool rather than people that apply to go on the show, like you just go on the street and just like go up to someone working a McDonald's job or something like that and just approach them.
That's so hard.
Because that's a little bit more true, I feel like.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
That would be...
I mean, it is all true, but it's just because people get on such a big. There is
That's
a bit of a
true.
moral dilemma.
Yeah.
We want to make sure that the people coming on, the amount of onboarding they come on before coming on the show, but we couldn't do that with someone on the street, you know.
Right.
So.
But it makes sense for you not going up to random people, just given the audience size at this point.
Yes,
Where do you draw the line between people who think that you exploit poor people versus offering true criticism and helping them with tough love?
With the amount of times that we have on phone calls with them, a onboarding video that's sent to them before they come on, an onboarding video that forces them to watch in the green room before they come on, the amount of stuff we say, hey, dude, you're about to get shit on in front of a bunch of people. Don't do this if you don't want to do it. We won't be offended. Don't do it. Tell us now. They get that chance like 5 times before they ever come on. That's why we actually have a lot of people cancel right before. Which is okay.
What
we
percent would
allow
you say
it.
cancels?
We put 4 on the calendar, I'd say. 1 cancels, 1 to 2 a week. Yeah.
So how many people apply or how many people actually get on the show?
Now we get a lot more applications since we're targeting our audience on TikTok and Meta.
Yeah.
So, but that's specifically targeted at our audience still. And
Some of your squad is outside.
now we have a lot more applications. I don't know. We're getting also 100 applications a day. I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know. A lot of people want to come on. I think a majority of it is kind of just jerking themselves off a little. So a lot of people want to come on. They want to talk about their multi-million-dollar portfolio or something. But it's a pretty limited selection. If we were like Lindsay, could have pretty much anyone with that come on, but that would get. We already have kind of a relatively repetitive show. It would get uber repetitive if we just let anyone on. So we want to make sure we at least get interesting stories and, you know, more diverse selections of what is happening.
How do you know what to pick for to not become repetitive?
Well, that's why I hired Lindsay. She's a beast. Her and Jake, and eventually our new junior producer as well, they just have so many conversations with them. So many conversations going through their life and just trying to understand them and, you know, see where their headspace is at, see what their opinions on things are, and just making sure that it's not someone coming on who just spends at McDonald's and that's their only thing, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, I put it in their hands and I trust them, and they've been delivering
And how do you verify all the information that they say is accurate?
statements. Financially, it's in their statements, and they send credit card screenshots as well. So that for sure. Life things, it's a little hard to tell. We definitely get one side of the story, and you know, I've gotten in trouble a couple times for that, where it's like, you know, someone will tell a big trauma dump or something, which is very fair. Go ahead, and I'm like, instinctively play devil's advocate, but well, we're not hearing the other side, so I just want to be a little cautious. But then, you know, it's almost like, am I denying someone's experience? You know, that's kind of what I heard a few times. So I don't know. It's a little difficult, but we can't verify that stuff. 100%.
That's fair. That gets dicey.
On the topic of credit cards, do you think the average person uses them appropriately, or would you say, for the most part, it's just a bad?
The average person?
Yeah.
Ooh, dude, I don't know the statistics around this, but well, I guess we know the median balance is thousands, right? So I'm sure the average.
Oh, the average credit card debt right now, I think, is like $6,000. $6,600. Average person. Yeah.
So is that the average credit card debt, and then that's, you put that so you divide by 330 million or whatever?
Well, not everyone has a credit card.
I know,
The
I'm
average
saying
person
the
with a
amount of
credit
people
the average person with a credit card has a balance of, I believe it was $6,600. I did a video similar to this about like the American debt. The savings rate is 3% right now. For the average American, 3%. And if they're making $65,000 a year, they're saving like $2,000 a year, and they have a credit card balance of $6,600. There's no way to pay it off.
Yeah.
You physically can't pay, you know, it just doesn't work.
Do you think then that it could be irresponsible to advocate for credit cards for something that generally is bad?
I don't know, man. That's kind of the same thing as just like, you know, someone could get addicted to that coffee right there. You know, I don't drink, but I don't care if people drink. Like, someone could get addicted to it. I don't know. That's why I always just say use credit cards only if you're a credit card person. If you can demonstrate that you can budget and pay your bills correctly for at least a quarter, then maybe give yourself like an intro credit card, right? You know, really got to do it safely. It's a tool. But just like any other tool in construction, dude, you can get your head caved in. So just gotta be safe. I don't like super advocate for credit cards. I wouldn't say either. I'm not even, dude. If you looked at my wallet, you'd be so bored as like a credit card person. I'm like nothing. I got like just a couple credit cards that make sense. That's right. Business credit cards. It's just like I'm not a super big advocate. I like them because I can utilize them and I like to finesse a little. But I'm not like go get a credit card, go get a credit card, go get a credit scores. I know our boy Dave he doesn't think credit scores are the biggest thing in the world, but underwriting, you really got to find like the right institution for that. It definitely becomes less convenient, especially for apartment hunting. Yeah. So, I mean, then again, maybe I am advocating for smart credit card usage and training from parents to kids so that they can build a good credit so when they go to lease their own place without any roommates or co-signers or whatever, that they're able to get it. So,
you know what they're going to do at some point? Because I have a feeling the credit card usage and interest rates are going to be an issue over the next probably 10 years in terms of like Congress and senators, and they're going to look into this. I have a feeling at some point they're going to mandate credit card companies require a test before you get the credit card.
Interesting.
And just basic, like, is a 24% interest rate when you have $1,000 debt? What is that? And you have to like select the dollar amount. Or like, is your credit going to take a hit if you don't pay it off after 30 days? Like all these questions. And if you answer like 5 questions correctly, like basic, beginner level questions, then you get the credit card. Because they do that with stock trading. When you sign up for Robinhood options, you have to answer a few stupid basic questions that a monkey could answer, but they're questions. At least it's Robinhood. Hey, we did our job. We did something. I think the credit card should do that if people are taking out loans. I remember the one that you had on your show didn't understand what the credit card interest rate was and thought that was her limit, or she just like didn't understand what it was, like the 20%. She's like, oh, I thought this was like how much I could spend.
A lot of them, they think their 2% cashback is eating their 30% interest. So like, yeah.
For the average viewer out there that's trying to improve their finances, what are some things that you would just generally recommend for them to be in a better financial spot?
Just to start with just basic budget. Literally any budgeting app. But literally any budgeting app. I have an extra preference towards simpler budget because you just got to do the simple things. That's what a lot of people fail on. Is a lot of people try to get the crazy spreadsheet. A lot of people try to get download you need a budget and then like a billion things. Literally just the basic start of setting up the budget, understanding just what your even income is. People can't even answer the damn income question sometimes. And then just understanding what's going out. It always blows their mind when I tell them how much they're spending versus how much they're spending. They have no money. So literally just creating that simpler budget. That's why I made the simpler budget app. For the basics, just getting started, want to change their life, take control from the first time. It's just that basic thing. Starting with the budget. From there, then it's just the foundations, right? What are the goals we're trying to hit? Got to get that emergency fund, or we're trying to pay off high interest debt. What's our life situation looking like at that time? Do we need to make sure we have a little extra cushion before paying off that debt because we have kids? You go from there. You gotta start with the budget. People just don't know how much money's going in and out.
I remember back in college, I did this where I created a mock budget for a fake family that lives. It was a husband and wife, or boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, two people, and they have a child, and they were affording a car, gas. I allocated a budget towards rent, towards X, and I found an actual place, everything. Even childcare, I got the average healthcare costs, I got food budget costs from the census, everything. And they were able to still save, it was like $5,000, which is a pretty substantial amount. And that's not
I live in a place where like you literally can't stand in the shower because you fall through. Like you gotta know, you need to know your rights and just talk. You try to get connected. I think we sent them links to pro bonos.
Wow.
People that would be interested in pro bono work, in that space. So it's important for people to know their rights as well if they are getting fucked. Because people there are situations that are fucked. Just know your rights. There's laws in place for a reason. So a lot of people just don't know.
What do you think about cash stuffing in envelopes?
For some people, they need that little extra help. If it's digital, they can't track it. For me, I can't track it if it's cash. I need the digital number. If a dollar goes down on my bank account, I'm like, ooh. But if a dollar goes out physically, it doesn't exist. But yeah, some people, like, if it's digital, they have no control. So envelope systems been recommended a few times on the show, quite a few times.
But what do you say to the people who want to get a side hustle? How often is it actually worth it?
It's worth it when it's really worth it when they don't have that wiggle room. On the tightest budget, no Spotify with ad-free. Even with all that, they only have $100 left on a monthly basis, and like mathematically it's going to take them 10 years to pay it off, or they can go through bankruptcy and then it's on for 7 to 10 years. It's just like, okay, at that point, if they can literally bring in an extra $500 a month, that could like more than double their partners.
What do you think is the best side hustle?
I mean, I just recommend people getting a job as quick as possible. I know during the pandemic there's some Uber Eats and Ubering is pretty good. It's not as good anymore. It's a little hard. It's kind of, isn't it like kind of it's a low percentage that's actually making good money on it versus everyone else. Dude, I'm telling people there's a coffee shop up the street. I talked to the manager. I see him off and he's like, I need to hire people. We're hiring people at $18 an hour. Please send your guests here. Please send them. And I'm like, go.
That's pretty good for a coffee shop, man.
Yeah, I'm like, go. Yeah. Go brew some coffee. Go. And I don't know. That's pretty good. And like they're desperate to hire people. They will work schedules out. And they'll figure it out. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Try the place next door. Service is still backfilling in a lot of cities. Not as much as before.
Interesting.
But they're still backfilling.
Yeah.
I know tech's hard. You can't just go out and get a random like side gig as easily in tech or anything. But if you work a little service for a bit, that's not a huge issue.
Anything with tips. Tips can bring in some really good money.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah, just ask a few questions. And
True. Flip this thing over real quick. Yeah.
How much do you tip if you go into a place like a Chipotle, where they make the food in front of you, but you're not sitting down and eating? What's the appropriate tip on that?
Percentage? Coffee shop I always give.
Like whatever Chipotle, like a fast, casual sort of dining experience. Because it's not an 18%er. Because
you're not... Does it make you tip at Chipotle?
The way I see it is it's dependent on multiple different variables. If they have good service, then I'm tipping. But also, if they flip that screen over and the first button is 20%, that makes me upset.
Is it ever 20%?
Yes.
I always see 15.
No. A lot of the times they'll flip it over, and the first thing, the lowest you can tip is 20%, and that will make.
There's always an other button though.
Yes, you can, but I'm just saying, like when they provide you with three things, because very few people go to the custom tip. You usually do, the 3, 20, 25, 30, or 15, 20, 25. And if it starts out at 20, then that, for some reason, I don't know, I'm thinking to myself, like, that's what a lot of people tip at restaurants. And I would say there's a big delta between, the service that's provided at the restaurant versus taking an order, and obviously it gets split with chefs and stuff like that.
I mean, there's like kiosks and stuff when I go to like a concert and I get like a little snack there, and it says I pick it up from a roller.
Yeah.
And then it's asking for a tip. I punch that no tip button.
Yeah.
Because nothing was done there. I didn't see human. I didn't even see someone. So I don't even know what's happening. But yeah, I don't know.
But really quick, before we go into that, did you know that the average time to hire for most organizations is 30 to 45 days? Are you tired of a costly and lengthy hiring process?
Simplify and speed up your recruitment by using the experts at Express Employment Professionals. Reduce time to hire, cut down on multiple interviews, and lower your recruitment costs. Whether you're looking for contract workers or a new team member, Express Pro's streamlined recruiting, candidate screening, and hiring process is more efficient than hiring others. Visit expresspros.com today.
Haven't used a staffing company before? Well, we know you enjoy learning new things and keeping up with trends and efficiencies. You're
not going to believe what happened. Tell me everything. I'll show you on Monday.com. So I started the biggest initiative.
Ramp enforces compliance by flagging disbursements and vendor payments all in one place. Not to mention, businesses save an average of 5% in their first year with Ramp. Plus, now you can get $250 when you join Ramp.
Abusive situation. I don't know how to relate to that. Never been in it, and I don't know people in it. And if I do, I don't know it because they don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, there's that heartbreaking Dave Ramsey call. I remember that, where someone was in an abusive situation, and she called, and Dave Ramsey was like, do you need help? And she was like, yes.
Oh, yes.
And then he told her to we're going to call 911 for you, like, stay on the line. That was awful.
I can't relate to that. That's hard. That's really hard. But that's usually when we try to connect them with different resources and stuff as well.
What percentage of just the general, what you've seen come on your show can be solved with some more financial literacy and discipline versus the stuff that realistically these people are going to need to file for bankruptcy and take extremely drastic measures to completely reset?
Vast majority. I'd say only 5% this year that we've uploaded. Like, it needs to be something extreme, like bankruptcy is like the only option, or You know,
So 1
the
out of
vast
20.
majority.
And the people that come on your show are probably a representation of some of the people that are lower on the scale of just general financial status.
Absolutely.
So we're talking a very small percentage of people you would say are actually financially screwed.
Oh, well, I don't know about that. Again, when we go back to the, average American doesn't have can't afford $1,000 emergency, or the $6,000 credit card balance. A lot of people are financially fucked. A lot of people don't have even close to enough for retirement. Like, a lot of people are financially fucked. As dire as what we have on the show for the average or the median American, no, we're definitely on the lower half because, you want it to be a challenge. You want it to be more interesting, It's definitely, these are still the people you're working with. They're the people you're walking next to on the street. They're people in your family. Talking about money stuff, we don't know. That's how they come on here. So many people actually have come on the show to send us, or we talked to them in a follow-up, and they're like, yeah, like my coworkers knew I was coming on the show and stuff, but they were so surprised at how bad my finances were. I don't know.
Now, on their side, what's the most difficult part about being poor or broke?
Yeah, when you don't have an emergency fund, that's where things can get fucked. I mean, what happens? A pet gets sick. That gets scary.
That's got to be the worst, honestly, for a pet.
Yeah.
It's expensive. I had the Bailey, she had a little limp. Apparently, she had a sprain. It was almost $1,000. $1,000 for medication, for them to look at it and do an X-ray.
I did 30,000.
Wow.
30,000 multiple surgeries on my great Pyrenees.
What happened?
She ate a small little piece of a ball.
Do you have insurance?
Save me 20. Because I think that was the cap. It was still 10. It busted up her intestine, so it exploded, and then sepsis and stuff.
How's the dog?
Oh, she's great. She's great now. She's great now. But
it was a $30,000 surgery.
Yeah, it was so hard to catch because usually they were telling me like that blockage and stuff. It's like they can't keep down any food. They can't, it's just diarrhea and vomit. But she wasn't really showing that many symptoms.
How did you know?
It's because she would show symptoms and then she'd be fine for a few days and then symptoms and then fine for a few days. And I was like, okay, well that's it. Let's send in. They sent her home saying nothing was wrong after X-rays. Then a week later, after symptoms kept popping up, I'm like, what? Okay, something's happening. She was acting slow, and I brought her over, and that's when they realized it split open. And
how'd they
that
realize
was hard.
that? Did they get a different scan or something?
Yeah, they went in with the ultrasound.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Why do I think that this was the second time this had happened?
Yes, because it is. Because that's why she has to. She looks like a big scary dog every time she goes outside alone now because she wears what's it called? Muzzle. But it's not because she bites. So
why?
I don't know, dude. She's obsessed. Apparently, I was talking to one of the vets there, and her Great Pyrenees does the same. So is
that a breed thing to see something
Maybe.
and just want to eat it?
My other dog doesn't. My other dog chews sticks but spits them out. It chews on bones and stuff. But spits it out. But I don't know, man. She's crazy. So I'm telling people, it feels so fucking mean. It feels so mean. But I've started to come to the mindset where if you cannot afford pet insurance, you cannot afford it. Because if you can't afford to pay for a life-saving event, or even if you can't afford to pay to take them in and have them throw up, you know how they can do that little medication if they eat something? If you can't afford to pay that, you can't. You can't.
You think a pet is a privilege?
Yeah, they're your responsibility. You're taking on that contract, that moral contract.
Yeah, there was someone I knew who had a pet, didn't have pet insurance, or it was something where the pet wouldn't be covered. The pet had an issue, and there was a 50-50 chance of survival, but it was going to be a $20,000 surgery.
Yeah.
50-50 chance.
That's what mine was.
Didn't have any money. Took out a loan. Took out one of those, because they offer the payday services or whatever it is. I took out the loan, did the surgery. Pet didn't make it.
Yeah.
Didn't make it. It was horrible. The 50% a no. So now not only have you lost your pet, but you're $20,000 in debt on a payment plan for a pet that didn't make it.
Yeah.
That's gotta suck.
Yeah,
because
really.
it's not like you want to say, 50-50, well, okay, let's save the money. You never want to just save the money for a pet.
Yeah.
Probably even if there's a 20% chance of survival, you probably want to take it.
Oh, yeah.
Gosh, that's gotta be sad. It's harder for a pet than I hate to say it. It's sometimes harder for a pet than a person because the pet really is entirely dependent on you. Unless it's a kid,
innocent,
instead of a child. Yeah,
Sure,
a child would be
completely innocent.
But when something depends on you and it's like you're the one responsible for it.
Yeah. I used to, one of the, I don't really, get on like Reddit or anything anymore, but one thing I used to see back in the day, people just kept saying, oh, Caleb yells at people for taking out credit cards to save their dog's life at the thing. And I'm like, don't think I've ever yelled at that. I yell at the fact that they take out the credit card to, do the vet bill, but then they go and blow a shit ton of money on fast food instead of paying off the credit card. It's like, I never understood that criticism. Never yelled at them saving their pet's life. I'm yelling at them not paying off the card. Do it. If you don't have an emergency fund, do it. I would do it. But pay it off. Sacrifice for a bit and pay it off after you do it.
How much is pet insurance?
It depends on, the breed and age and stuff. Both of my pups are like 35, 40 a month.
That's not bad at all.
That's not bad.
Well, I got them young and healthy.
Oh, okay.
Before she started going crazy with her.
Do you think that's a good thing? Should I do that?
I would.
Really?
I would. You're not gonna let a pet die. You're not gonna let a pet die.
But
you're not gonna want to spend $30,000 either. So do it.
That would be $30,000. I don't know. She got quoted a while ago for a potential like a elective surgery that hey, she might need this at some point. It was like $5,000, and I was like, I don't know about that. She's fine.
Who?
What?
Who? Which one?
Bailey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was apparently these dogs are sometimes born without so it's so weird, a kneecap. And her kneecap isn't fully developed on one leg. It's not an issue, but it might be an issue. And so it's do you want to do this, have the surgery now for something that might not be an issue, or not do it, and it might be an issue in the future, but it might not be. And I was like, well, if it becomes an issue, then we can address it.
Get the pet insurance. I think because of that, it might be a little more expensive depending. And I think Bailey's, what, 5? 4? Okay. So, yeah, it gets more expensive the older they get. I'd get it young. Get it young. You just got a cat, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Actually, I got a kitten, too.
You're double catting?
I'm double.
So now you're triple catting,
He's got
right?
No,
Ramsey?
double.
No,
Ramsey,
I was talking about the kitten. Yeah, that's
Ramsey, Gigi is the new cat, and then Bailey.
Yes.
Gigi's very cute. Yeah,
And a lot of fish.
She is.
Oh yeah, the fish. Ton of fish.
Oh, yeah, I don't think you pet insurance on fish. I don't even know if that's an option.
That'd be pretty fun. That'd be interesting.
Tank insurance
New
for the
business
coral.
idea.
Gosh. That would be great. Yeah, if your coral dies, we'll pay you for it.
I'm going to ruin your retention right now for a quick second, so you can cut this if you want. But I was dating. No, I was going on multiple dates with someone, and she had a nice coral tank. It was just beautiful. Lots of fish, coral. Then the big Texas freeze 4 years ago happened. It all died. Everything died.
That's my nightmare. If a tank goes without electricity for 8 hours, pretty much everything dies. And it depends on it depends on the temperature too, because the oxygen in the water. So the first thing, so the temperature can drop. That's okay up to low 70s, and things can survive from that. It's actually a lot better that the temperature goes down than go up.
Oh.
If the temperature goes up too much, everything will die. Goes down a little bit, more wiggle room there. But basically the fish just asphyxiate. There's just no oxygen in the water, no running water, and they'll just suffocate to death.
Her room got 40 degrees for a week. Nothing could be done.
Got to get a generator.
Yes.
I ended up getting a generator for the tank.
Smart.
Yeah. They were actually a sponsor of a video, and I used it. I plumbed it directly into the outlet, the breaker for the aquarium.
That's so cool.
So now it just takes over. It's electric. Works great.
Tank insurance.
Yeah.
It's the new insurance.
It's worth it.
What was it like for you? What were the statements like when you were in the worst financial situation you've ever been in?
I didn't look at them. I don't know. But I do know this. When I was really bad early college, I wanted my daily McD's. That was my dinner. And I could physically afford it because I was also active. What I would do is just find a way just to make the payment necessary on a credit card so I had enough at the credit card before it hit to the limit to go to McDonald's and get that meal for that day. Because how could I cook? I couldn't cook. I needed my tendies.
What was the meal? What would you get?
Chicken tendies. Back when they did it. Tendies, fries, and probably a shake.
Wow, it's the shake. The shakes are the real calorie.
I wasn't fat back then though. It didn't mean anything because I was active, walking around campus and stuff.
Are you just less active now?
Oh yeah. I mean, just here. at the studio. I'm going back and forth between the 3 units, but like, yeah, a lot less active now.
Are you motivated at all to try to get in better shape?
To a certain point, I mean, it's the motivation that I tell a lot of people on the show as well. It's like, yes, I'd like to get thin or be more fit, but obviously my behavior is suggesting I prefer going and getting that meal or whatever, being lazier and not working out a bit more. Like mentally, yeah, I want to get there, of course. But
it's surprising to me that you're very dedicated when it comes to business, money, finances, like all of that. It's like you're like a 10 out of 10, like perfect on that. Very disciplined. But when it comes to health, there's less of a focus on like wanting to dial it in.
I think it's consequences. I always have a wake-up call. I had a financial wake-up call one day. Just, everything was fucked, and I realized how fucked it was. I joked with my friends, like, I'm just like, I need to have a heart attack real quick. Just someone order me a heart attack real quick. Just give me, if I have that, then I'm like, oh fuck. It's like, I don't have any harder time going on dates or anything. I don't have any. There's been no.
There are no consequences.
There's been no negative.
You're not at a point where you're gonna have a wake up call. I mean,
exactly.
like you could be
And
your
that's the
entire
bad
life
part.
like you are right now and be totally fine.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a bit of a health aspect of like, be healthier. You might have more energy. You might,
Yes.
look in the mirror and be like, yeah. But there's not going to be like someone who's like, can't, like, I just don't think that's going to happen.
And that's why I'm not going to make an excuse. I mean, there's no excuse. The fact is, for those other things that I'm so disciplined in, if I get less disciplined on the business, I see that in next month's numbers. When I sit down with my number 2, Robert, and we're looking over numbers, I see the immediate impact, right?
No scale.
What if
I want to, but obviously my behavior is showing that I want something.
I think the hardest part is starting.
It is.
That's all it is. I think if you gave it 30 days, like you challenged yourself from January 1st to 31st, 30 days hiring a dietitian, meal preps, and a personal trainer 3 times a week.
You don't even need a personal trainer. You can just go on a floor test.
I'm moving to a walkable community, and every time I am living in before I moved to this house, I lived in a walkable community, and I was 30 pounds lighter. I went on walks every day with the dog. I live in I love my house, but I just live in a suburban neighborhood, no streetlights, no sidewalks. It's dark when we get out of work in the winter, because people refuse to keep permanent daylight savings time. And it's just, I don't go on walks or anything anymore.
I would like to see you get in really good shape this year, because we've almost done like an audit review between you and I, going on, and I'll find something we could fine tune a little bit. I think the first year was getting you off the franchise. We did that.
That restaurant, man, it is as successful as ever, though.
That's okay, but look at you. I think you made a better decision. I think you were the winner here. But I will say there's something beyond money that, like, I've noticed a lot of wealthy people are now gravitating towards, like, getting really fit and shape. Because that's something you can't really buy. Like, you gotta think of all the billionaires now are all doing the thing where they're all getting, like, jacked with 6-packs. Mm-hmm. It's the one thing that, like...
They are.
It's now becoming the ultimate flex to be, like, in your 40s and 50s, but shizzle.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that could be next year because you've definitely done well in business, as we're about to get to in a little bit. So keep watching and like and subscribe if you haven't done that already. I mean, the world to us. But I think now that you've
to 1 million subscribers.
Yeah,
That was fun.
yeah, we don't think about that.
Okay.
But now that you've done well in all these aspects, I think the next thing for you would be fitness. Just dialing it in, and you might command a little more authority with guests, being like, "Hey, I did."
yeah. I don't know if that's a good thing.
Yeah, like Shad.
Yeah, or like 12 employees like yelling at you. I feel like that's that's a different,
Honestly, I mean, I can tell you guys, I have not talked about this on the show. I do hear that. I really do, and I know that's something that at some point really does need to be discussed. One thing that is just like a revelation this year that I almost feel like I'm falling behind in life. I want life. I've never felt that in my life before. I've always joked about it on the show. 29. I've always joked about it on the show, but for some reason, something this year, I've like felt like I'm like failing.
You're having a lot of couples on the show. Do you think
I
that
am.
could have anything to do with it?
Dude, imagine
Maybe.
it's like the subliminal messaging is coming out
might
as
be.
Caleb's guests come on the show.
I don't know.
Couples. No, it doesn't. Isn't that
It's been really weird.
Is it because of the
really
financial
weird in my life.
success?
I don't know. I do have financial success. I have business success. I have no one to share with. I don't go to home to anyone. I don't know. Like I feel like I'd like to pass it along. I don't know. Dating's always been easy and fun, and I love going on dates, and I go on a lot of dates, and I don't know. But there's that. I feel like that's a big missing chunk. And my family was in town this last weekend, and I got the most thoughtful, amazing gift from my mom of a photo album I never had before in my entire life. And I saw my parents with 7-year-old me, a whole 10-year-old me, and they're my age now. The age I am right now, 10-year-old me. And I'm like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah, but you wouldn't have been able to do all of that. Yeah, that would have been an uphill battle. It could also be part of the holidays. You know, a lot of people feel like around the holidays.
I've been feeling
January
it this year,
1st.
though.
Yeah.
It's been building up this year. More than ever before. Like, I, felt like, oh, it'd be nice to have a girlfriend before, and we played and stuff. I've never felt the way I feel this way.
Man, I'd give it 5 years. Like you want to make sure the person that you end up finding, like you give it
sure.
a few years with them, and like a few years just you two, because once you have a kid, it's like you can never undo that.
Yeah.
You know, there's always going to be a kid no matter what. Like your life will change forever because of that. Like there's no going back. And so like I think it's better to live it up now with someone else.
I'm
And
curious.
are you a single little guy?
Yeah, I'm a single little guy, and I'm feeling a little bit of the pressure too. I just turned 26, and I'm definitely like once I hit that age too, I'm like, okay, like I'm past the first quarter of a century.
Yeah.
I feel like I should probably get on it. But I'm curious for you, what were you looking for previously? Just to go on casual dates and have fun or whatever?
Yeah, I enjoyed casual dates, and I'd be okay if a relationship happens here and there. Just I never really took it like super seriously.
What's preventing you from getting into a relationship now then?
I guess nothing's preventing. Really busy with this job, because this job doesn't just exist here. It exists when I go home. I'm also beat afterwards because we do so much more than just filming the show. Now it's a full-fledged business, and also just I love spending time with the friends as well, and I don't know, it's a busy life. And
Is that
I
really
guess
what it
just
is being busy?
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, I go on the dating apps. I try to ask some people out in person as well, which is risky. But yeah.
Dude, I would give it 5 years. Unsolicited Graham advice. Just head down, buckle down, 5 years. You'll
You
be 34. Yeah.
You
What did I
told
say?
me a few months ago to just like not even go on dates anymore.
Yeah, I think I said that.
You said it was just like too risky now.
Yeah. I think
Which
for everything that you're building,
Makes me
I think,
extra nervous.
but I
sometimes.
also think any distraction is a bad thing from taking your eye
But
off.
what's the point of this, right? What is the point of this?
I think it's a short-term sacrifice. 5 years? We're not
Okay.
talking about a 30-year
Graham,
career.
I'm
here.
just saying,
What?
just to give him a little bit of credit.
Yeah.
You have a certain goal and future idea of what you want your life to look like, and maybe Caleb has a completely different dream life down the road. So your advice to him in terms of what you personally would do may not be,
I see
sympathetic towards whatever Caleb
I see the
wants.
spot that Caleb is in right now. I could
Also,
relate closely to it, and I think 5 years. I think
Also,
you set yourself up for a lot of longevity
Yeah.
for 5 years, and an industry that changes very quickly,
Yes.
where anything happens. I think 5 years solidifies yourself as a paramount person in this space in such a way where you're gonna slowly over time remove yourself from the business. Like it's not going to be Caleb Hammer show indefinitely. It's going to
We'll see
evolve.
about that.
I think it's going to evolve. You're slowly going to remove yourself and be more of an operator and investor and all these other things, a business owner. And then I think that's the appropriate time. And hey, if someone comes along, I'd be receptive to it. But I don't think it's necessarily a good thing to go out there and, unless you enjoy it, unless it's something you love.
I love
doing,
going on dates.
Then keep doing that.
I like going on dates.
Keep doing that.
I'll give you two things.
Yeah.
One, just saw my parents, right? I want my kids to be able to grow up with active young grandparents. You know, I want them to be able to experience grandparents.
But
and two, you know, especially more these days, you tend to date more like, you know, 1, 2, 3 years in your range. It's not the 1950s anymore. If I'm 35 dating my range, talking about the biological clock, if we're just being purely realistic. I know modern medicine's great, but there is that. It's what a lot of people fear. I don't have the biological clock, but a lot of people I talk to fear that. And if I'm waiting 5 years, and if I'm 35 and I'm married to someone, let's just say on the young end of 32, you know, that's probably like ticking in their brain.
Say you don't date someone who's 27.
That's probably ticking in their brain. Well, Twitter would be up in arms. Like,
I don't think they would.
I don't think anyone. I don't think anyone cares.
No, I don't think any real people care.
No,
real people don't care. Terminally online rage bait, absolutely. But, yeah, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It's something that's been weighing on me a lot this year.
But before we get into that, let's talk about rent for a second. Isn't it crazy in return?
This episode,
it's fun.
This episode, and now let's get back to the podcast.
So what is it that you want out of life? Like your dream, perfect, like how's this all look?
Dream, house, wife, 2 to 3 kids, 2 dogs, 2 cats, 2 cows. That'd be cool.
How much
walkable
money?
Community.
Like, how are you affording this? Where's the money coming from?
I could retire right now. I could retire and live a good, happy, upper middle class life.
So technically speaking, the only thing that you can now optimize for, if you want to achieve that exact dream that you just stated, was you need to find a wife and 2 cows.
Yes.
And 2 cats.
And 2 dogs. I have 2 dogs.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I guess I could do the ultimate stretch goals. Build the business. I like building the business. Building the business is fun. I'm competitive with myself, right? So I like building the business. That's another part of life. So that would be another thing that I like to see. It's not about the collection of all the wealth. It's like, I just love this. And I love, I mean, you met so many employees today, you know? It's cool. Mm-hmm. It's fun. I love
I'd come
working
here
with
just
people.
to hang out, honestly. Just to chill.
You have a very good work environment.
Well, thank you.
It's
I
fun.
I can't wait for you guys to see
fun,
the new place.
It's lighthearted. I like it. In terms of your work, in your perfect schedule, how often would you be at the office?
9 to 5, Monday through Friday. And I do love the work. It is fun.
And how much would the house be?
How much money?
Yeah.
The house I'm getting right now, I think, is my perfect house.
Really?
It's in a walkable community, and I value that more. I didn't realize how much I value that more than almost anything. I want to be able to walk to the pub. I want to walk to the grocery store. I want to walk to everything, but it's also quiet. It's safe. It's just cute. Great parks.
How much money would you need to support your lifestyle, your kids, your wife? Would she be working? Would she not?
Dream. So she can do whatever she wants, but dream. I mean, I'm pretty close. I think I'd be able to pull off 300 a year now. Pretty close.
Do you think that's how much it would cost?
No.
Yeah.
No. We would be beyond comfortable with that. I could do less. I could do 2.
With 3 kids?
I guess I haven't mapped the kids.
And a nice house?
I haven't mapped the kids yet. I guess I haven't mapped the kids.
$30,000 a year per kid.
What? Is that the...
PBD was telling me $100,000 a year per kid.
That's PBD's kids.
I understand, but okay. So if we're talking elite private school, after school activities, nanny.
I'm okay with public school. I don't need to go. Like, hey,
I didn't mind public school.
You're going to state college. It's like I don't know.
Okay, $30,000 a year a kid.
Yeah, I don't want them to grow up like super privileged or anything either, like spoiled. I grew up with spoiled, and I grew up with like a billionaire kid and millionaire kids who were also super chill because they weren't spoiled. You know, I wouldn't want all that. I don't know. That's not my vibe.
Yeah. So you think 300 grand?
Sure. It's hard for me to picture. I haven't priced out kids because that's not a realistic thing right now.
$400,000 a year.
I'm not popping out
say
kids.
Before tax, 400.
It's hard for me to math it out. That's more of a security thing, less of a I want. It's more of a security thing because my life still... I think we talked about this last time. My life has not really changed since going on here. We're able to go to nicer restaurants, you know, as the friend group, but I hang out with the exact same friends before as I did afterwards. Bought a Tesla, that was exciting. I don't know. It's like, I don't know. I guess that number's more of a security thing. I don't have the I want.
That's fair.
Because I don't travel, you know. What do people do?
They travel and they get on planes.
Oh, there you go.
How has your progress been? Because I remember that was a sticking point. You have a fear of flying.
Nope.
No, it's not a fefear of flying. What was it? It was the anxiety of being in a confined space.
Not having control, yeah. The most extreme version of that anxiety is people are afraid to leave their house. I have the light version, right? I have the light version, essentially.
Yeah, that's agoraphobia.
Yeah, so I have like a version of that. Probably. I mean, that's at least what therapists have said. So that's like the light version, you know.
Are you doing anything to work on that?
Honestly, since we've talked about it, everything's just been... So there's only been one thing that I was like, that would have been cool. But other than that, I've been just grinding and happy. It'd be cool to go back, fly back to Michigan. Maybe. I hate the snow. Family would be cool though, but they just came down, so... I don't know. It hasn't been a big goal this year.
You know
I thought it would be, but it wasn't.
You know what would change your life? Honestly, you get in shape for a year. Like, you get jacked. And when you finally reach a milestone, like whether that